Drop the roof and let the smoke hit. I got diamonds doing tootsie slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the lost.
Hey you guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a soft glam makeup tutorial, so like a natural kind of glam, just like soft pretty looking makeup or whatever. But I'm going to try and make this as beginner friendly as possible, so that means it's going to be really detailed. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started because that means it's probably going to be a little bit long. So we're going to start off with skin prep because that is the most important part. Like, obviously the makeup is important too, but your makeup's not going to look good if your skin doesn't look good. Like if you're putting your makeup on top of dry, patchy, not good looking skin, your makeup's not going to look good. So I'm going to start off with some primer. I use the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I like to use a good little bit because I want my face to be really moisturized, so I make sure I put a good amount of it on. Might be a little bit too much, but it can never be too much. Then I like to spray my face with this hydrating face mist. I do a lot of this too. You gotta do a lot of everything. Make sure, hold on. Make sure your face is really getting all that moisturization. Now we are done with the skincare, so we can go ahead and start on the makeup. So I like to do two foundations, mix two foundations. I do the Kiss Natural Finish Liquid Foundation and then the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. So I'll just take like a squirt on my beauty blender and then, or it's not a beauty blender, my sponge. And I'll dab that around and then I'll get some from the other one. I try and do like half and half. And then I'll blend it out all together. I like to do my foundation first before I do anything else, especially my eyebrows, because I just hate like blending around my eyebrows. I always have a hard time with that. I don't know why. It's just like, I'm afraid to get too close to them because I don't want to mess them up, because it takes me so long to do my eyebrows sometimes. Like sometimes I can do them so easy, like I do them done fast. But sometimes I be having a hard time and I have to like go switch my face, look at different angles to try and get them to be symmetrical or whatever. So I just like don't like to mess with them after I get them how I need them to be. I don't like trying to blend around them, none of that. So I go ahead and get the foundation and everything taken care of first. Next, I like to do concealer. I use two concealers as well, but I use them for different stuff. So I like to do this one now, and then I'll go and do the other one after my eyebrows and stuff. But I just use this one on my under eyes only.
So happy. It's over now, you're gone away.
Now it is time for the eyebrow. So this is the second most important part after the skincare. Your eyebrows literally just shape your face. Like if you do a whole different eyebrow style, your face is going to be completely different. So it's really important. I try and just follow my natural shape. I used to, like in high school, I would not follow my natural shape. I used to try and get them arched and all kinds of crazy, and I looked crazy. So it's better to do like work with what you have. Just follow your natural shape. So I'll brush them first and get them together. I need to pluck my eyebrows, but we're not going to talk about that. And also, we're not going to talk about my brush. This is the brush I love to use. I've had this brush also since high school when I used to do my eyebrows terribly, but now I do them good. But as you can see, it's had a time. It's been through it, but it's great. I probably could get a new one, but I'm not going to. I love her. She treats me good. So I'm going to use this Nicka K pomade. I just got this from the drugstore. I used to use the Anastasia brow pomade, but this pomade works just the same. Not really though. I have to like put on a little bit more product, but it gets the job done. So after I dip it in the product, I like to squeeze the brush to make sure it's like, I don't know the word, like it's like smaller, so it's like more precise. I don't know. Y'all get what I'm trying to say, hopefully. But this does make a mess of your fingers, but it'll be all right. Nobody's gonna be looking at your fingers because your face is gonna be so pretty. So yeah, I like to squeeze the brush, and then let me get closer. So I just start off by outlining the bottom first.
I can feel your energy someday. Your DNA, oh babe, don't be a fool. Why you wanna see me so caught up? All that I'm asking for is all because of you.
Then before I outline the top, I like to go in and draw some little brow hairs in the front, because like as you can see right here and stuff, there's not really any hair actually there where the line starts. So I draw little fake ones in there, and I'll show y'all what I do to make them look more like natural, or natural. Like, I guess the better word would be more realistic. I don't know. Then this part is what helps it look more realistic, because people most of the time don't really have eyebrows that are just like straight. So I'll go and I'll draw diagonally. So whichever eyebrow I'm doing, like this eyebrow, I'm gonna go this way, and this eyebrow, I'll go this way. So like towards the brow, I guess, you draw lines going that way.
Don't you take my sweetness for a weakness, baby.
And then you'll see on this side, I did it a little bit higher on accident, but that don't really matter. I'll just take my finger and just wipe right across and get them to be even. So now I'll go ahead and outline the top and then fill them in.
I don't wanna fuck this up. Tell me what you need, girl. You know I put my all in you.
So when I fill it in, I like to do like the back of the eyebrow the darkest, and then lighter as you go towards the front. So I'll just go straight in on the back, and I'll dip straight in and just go on there. But towards the front, I won't add any more product or anything. Like once I get to like right here, I'm gonna try and get as much product off on the back as I can. And then I'll go towards here, and there'll be less product on the brush. And I'll try and use like a lighter hand too, so it's not as dark looking. And brush it away some too. And this is like the brow pretty much. It needs some fixing up, but this is pretty much what it'll be like.
And I hear I'm calling you. If I die, I'm haunting you. Yeah. Why you wanna see me so cold? All that I'm asking for is all because of you.
I like to clean up my brows with the same Tarte Shape Tape that I use on my under eye. And then I like to use this Real Techniques detailing brush. So what I like to do when I'm cleaning up my brows is pick the brow that I like the most. This might sound funny, but whichever brow I like the most, it looks the best to me that day, I'll choose that one and try to make the other one match that one. So I don't know, I think I'm liking this one today. So the one that I like the most, I'll do that one first and get that one like looking right, and then I'll try and make this one look like this one. I try not to conceal at the top of my brow because I just don't like how that looks sometimes, but sometimes I have to because it look a little wonky at the top.
I thought that we'd be everything that I had hoped to be. It's over now, I don't believe.
So now I think I've gotten the eyebrows to where they're symmetrical enough, so I just go ahead and blend that concealer in. Then I do my contour. I love the Huda Beauty contour, like the Tantour contour, I think that's what it's called. But I ran out of that and I haven't bought any more, so I just been using this Ruby Kisses palette. And then I like to use this Real Techniques brush. It says it's a square foundation brush, but don't matter. I use it for my contour. And so I'll just go and I'll mix these three right here, the only ones in this thing that have been used really. So I'll just dab in like a couple of times into each one. and then I'll mix it up here. That's what this little thing is. I use the clear part as like my mixing tray pretty much, why it's so messy. And I'll just mix it around. And then I do the same thing with this brush that I do with the eyebrow brush too. I like to squeeze it together so I can get it to be more precise. And then I like to start like where I have these like sideburns, where they end, I like to start there. Then after I make that line, I like to start like going across from my eye. You see like right here. I'll start the next line right here and go like this and connect them together like that.
Oh, yeah. Must be a fool. Why you wanna see?
And I'll just do the rest of the contour places that people normally do. I'll do my jaw and all that. And I like to do it light on my forehead because I heard like a long time ago, this probably isn't really true, but I heard like if you put less makeup on your forehead, even if you have like a lot down here, if there's less up here, it makes you look like more natural or whatever. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but ever since I heard that, I like live by it, and I feel like it looks good. So it may be true, it may not be true, but it looks good, it works. So that's what I do. So I do some on my forehead, but I don't do a lot, just a little bit, like just enough to where you can see the color really. Then for the nose contour, I use the same detailing brush that I used on my eyebrows. And this nose contour, I feel like it's kind of like different. Like I never really see anybody else do this kind of contour, but I'll start like in the middle of my eyebrow, kind of like right here. And I'll just go like around the shape of my eye. Like I'll show y'all so it makes sense. So it's like, like that. And then I do like the bottom of my nose, only this part, the very bottom. And then that's it. I don't really touch on my bridge or anything like that. Then I just blend it out with the same sponge that I use for my foundation. And when you blend in the contour, you don't want to go downwards, like you go across and you go upwards some, but never down. After the contour, I go in with the second concealer. So this one is really just to like clean up the contour and like highlight and whatnot. So I use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and the places you want to be like the brightest, you do those first. So like whatever you want to like highlight the most is what you do first. So I like my eyes to be the brightest, so that's what I do first because it'll sit longer in these spots. Like when you do it first, it sits longer and thickens up and dries. So I do this first. And then I do just a little bit on my forehead, a little bit right here, and a little bit right here. And then I'll do this part last because I don't like that part to be as bright. Like I don't want it to be super noticeable that I clean it up just like a little bit. And I scrape off like most of the product. I scrape it back off into the tube when I'm doing this part. Like I really do this part literally just to clean it up. Like I don't like this part to be highlighted. So I'll just go, and I don't even go all the way across because then that'll make it be like too much concealer and make it brighter than I want it to be. I just start like right here and I just make a small line, and then once I blend it, I'll drag it across. And then like I said, whatever you want to be the brightest, you have to let that sit the longest. So I put that on first, and I'm gonna blend that out last because that's what I want to be the brightest. And I'm gonna blend this first because I don't want this to be as light. So I just blend across just to clean up the line and make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'll like bring it around a little bit just so it blends good. And I'll do the same thing over here. When I blend the inner corner, I like to just tap in one place for a while because I don't want it to be super spread out. Like where I put it is where I want most of the highlight to be. So I'll just tap in this one spot for like a little bit. And then once I feel like it's like blended kind of enough, I'll go over just a little bit and blend. And then once it's like this looks good. So once it looks good like this, I'll go ahead and just tap all the way across just so it's like actually really blended and not just like on my face. But not too many times. I don't want it to be like super spread out. Just enough to diffuse it out so it looks blended. I don't know, I'm sorry if my explanations aren't really good. I'm trying my best to explain the things that I do and why I do them, but I'm like not used to this. So hopefully you guys understand me and you're picking up what I'm putting down. It is time for my favorite step. It's time to bake. I love to bake. It's just like so satisfying to me for some reason. But I use the Huda Beauty loose powder, the banana bread shade, not translucent. Sometimes I use translucent, but when I do like kind of like glam, you know, I'll do the banana bread. So when I first like dip the sponge in, I'll just tap like my under eye and then tap the other one because there's kind of a lot of product on it and I don't want a lot like when I'm first starting. Like when you first start, I like to blend it into the skin to where you can't see it anymore. And then once I have it blended in, then I'll go on top and actually bake. And I didn't contour my nose bridge or anything, but I still like to like bake here. I don't know why. Then I like to bake all around my mouth, like right here, because I get smile lines terribly. Like if I don't bake and within an hour, this is going to be all creased up and ugly. It's already starting to crease up a little bit. I'm going to blend it out before I put some. So I just go and I do it all around here. And I'll do it twice too because like I said, it creases really bad. I smile a lot. I guess I'm just a happy person and you can tell it in my makeup. Like if I don't do this, you'll be able to tell it really bad. Like I get terrible smile lines when I don't bake. And then on the forehead, like I said, less is more for the forehead. So I only try and do a little bit and I don't actually bake my forehead. I just tap the powder in on my forehead. Then I like to get a big brush. So this is a Real Techniques buffing brush and I'll just dip it into the powder and I'll just go and set everywhere where there's not any bake at. Cause I get super oily. Like I have really oily skin. So everything has to get set. Then while the bake's still sitting on, I like to go ahead and do my contour while this line is still there so I can make sure the contour stays like cleaned up. So I'll go in with a powder contour. It's Anastasia Face Trio that I use. And I'll use the contour out of there. I normally don't use this brush. This is the buffing brush that I used to set my face just now, but I can't find my other brush, so we're just gonna rock with it. Then once I'm all done with that, I'll just go ahead and wipe the bake away. I don't let it sit for like a super long time, just like 2-3 minutes. But I like to wipe away. It's the same as the concealer. Whatever you don't want to be as bright is what you take away first. So I'm gonna take away this first and then go to the eyes. Then I'll spray my face with setting spray since I just put on all that powder and my face is like super dry and matte now. I got this setting spray from Temu, by the way, I forgot to say. Then while it's still wet, like not soon as you spray it while it's super wet, but like once it dries down a little bit, I'll go ahead and do highlight. I use the highlight that is in the contour palette that I showed y'all a minute ago. And I like to use this brush right here because it kind of like diffuses the highlight so it's not like super strong as if you would use like a smaller, more precise brush. It's going to be like way stronger. I like a more subtle highlight. Now it's time for blush, and I love blush too. Like, blush just makes every single makeup look cuter. I don't know what it is, but I use this blush from Temu. It's my favorite blush. I love this blush. And then I use this contouring brush from Real Techniques. So when I do the blush, I don't really take it like all over my cheeks or anything. I focus it like more in this area right here. So I'll just do like a dot here, and then like a dot over here, and then I'll start to like blend it out some. So I'll go and just stay in like this area. I don't go like all, I used to go across all the way like this, like across my whole face, and that's cute or whatever, like there's nothing wrong with that, but I like this way better. So I'll stay kind of like on my well, not on my under eye, but underneath my eye area. And then I'll go and do the sides of my nose too. So like I'll do it kind of like I'm contouring. I'll start like shaping the bridge or whatever, and then I'll like tap it and connect it to the blush I just did over here. We're almost done now. We're getting to the last two steps. We just have eyes and lips. So for the eyes, I'll start with using the same contour, the same powder contour that I used. I'll use that in the crease of my eye, and I'll just take a fluffy brush and blend it in my crease. And then I also like to like wing it out a little bit. So like I'll kind of go like this, and then blend in the crease some more. I use the same highlight from the Face Trio with the contour, and I'll go in my inner corner and I'll like drag it up first and make like this part sparkly. And then I'll do it on my crease just a little bit, like kind of towards the middle, probably. Yeah, about to the middle, like that. And then I'll blend downwards. And this is what it looks like now. I do my waterline with this white shimmery kind of color. This is another Temu product. They have really good makeup though. Like sometimes it's a little hit or miss, but most stuff is pretty good, at least I feel like. This is the last thing I'm gonna do to the eyes. So I go into the Anastasia Riviera palette and I choose this dark brown color. My palette is really jacked up, as you can see, so I can't like hold it up all the way or this is gonna fall apart. But I use this like brown color right here, and I'll use the same like detail brush I did for the highlight, and then I'll just blend the brown underneath like where I put this white shimmer at. And I only do this like halfway. I don't do it across the entire way. Now we are on the last step, the lips. So if you are still watching this, I really appreciate you for making it all the way to the end. But I just used this lip liner. It's like a drugstore lip liner. I don't really know. My mom gave this to me, so I have no idea where it's from. So if you can tell, I have like heart-shaped lips. They have like the dip right here, if you can see. So I like to like kind of take that dip away. So I'll like go and draw this part to be circular instead of like dipping down. See? Now it's just like rounded out. And then I don't overline or anything. I'll just follow my natural lip shape from here. Then I'll fill the center in all the way with this NYX lip liner. For the lip gloss, I use this e.l.f. Jelly Pop. It's like a face and eye gloss, but it looks good on the lips, so I use it on my lips. See, it's like super sparkly in there and pretty. It's a nice lip gloss, even though it's not a lip gloss. So I'll just take a little bit of that and just dab it, like in the center mostly. See, it makes it like pretty and sparkly, and like when you just do it in the center, it makes your lips look like more pouty. So now this is the finished look. I'm gonna come back in a minute with my hair done and all that, so I'm like looking put together and y'all can see the full look and everything. So I'll be right back. I am back now. This is the finished look. I didn't really do much to my hair, but like I don't really need to. Like, look at me. I look good. So let me show y'all up close. Like, it's so pretty. Like the base and everything, like literally everything is just immaculate. Chef's kisses. I really did that. I'm really that girl. Let me stop. But I really love this makeup look. This is low-key kind of like my everyday makeup look, except I don't do like the eyes, like all the glitter and the under eye and all of that, but everything else, and the little shimmery lip gloss, but everything else I kind of do like whenever I'm doing my makeup. But I don't do my makeup every day, so it's not really an everyday look. But at this point I'm just rambling. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I was able to teach y'all something, or y'all got something from this video. I don't know. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, comment down below, and let me know what your favorite makeup product is. And then subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.